Welcome to the top of the world. We're here at Jones Pass with Venture House, about to show you all this beautiful and ambitious Sprinter build. My name's TJ Rivers, the builder on this project, and I'm looking forward to sharing what makes this van so unique and special. Getting up here, we needed to have a capable vehicle we had confidence in. It's no easy feat climbing thousands and thousands of feet. So here, we've equipped this van with oversized wheels and tires. The wheels are from Agile Off-Road, a great option for aftermarket offset alloy Sprinter wheels. And then we've wrapped those in a KO2 tire, which proved capable getting up here. And then a 2-inch lift with the Agile Off-Road RIP kit really sets this van apart from just an oversized wheel and tire package. It gives it that extra ground clearance you need in something this big and heavy to feel like you have confidence getting to where you want to go. We didn't want to go too over the top on the bumper, so we stuck with the flare space option here. This is going to have a bull bar, a skid plate, and integrate with your factory sensors, as well as have a removable plate to access the tow hook. Coming around to the sides, we have some side steps slash rub bars. These are going to protect the factory body of the van from obstacles that come underneath your chassis, as well as make it a lot more comfortable to step up inside your lifted Sprinter van. This is something I would recommend for anybody who's going to be getting a Sprinter, as they do ride much higher than the other vans on the market. You can never have too much storage, and so that's why we installed Agency 6 rear quarter panel lockers. These go into the rear cavity of the van where there's already empty space from the factory and allow you to utilize that space for common items that you'll need outside. Things like shore power adapters, extension cords, hose couplers, all that sorts of goodies that take up needless space other places. Well, now you can put it inside your rocker. A really unique feature of this build is the Flare Space Mega Flare. These are 2 separate fiberglass flares that integrate to create one look. And that is going to give us the room in the middle of the van for the bed, and in the back, we're going to utilize extra storage with these compartments. Now, this cabinet has a light built into it that activates as it opens, and then L-track on the inside to allow you flexible storage solutions for all your equipment. Over here is where the bed lays. We decided to go with the Mega Flare because the structural framing of the Sprinter van allows for much more width in the middle section of the 170 than in the rear section. This makes the bed a lot more comfortable for 2 people to sleep on in that orientation going east-west. So the Mega Flare was essential to getting the build to accommodate the bed size the client desired. Coming around to the back doors, we have a rear step. That's a really simple, great value addition to make it a lot more comfortable and safe to get in and out of the back of your van. Another nice addition for the off-road capability here is a rear tire mount. That's going to make it a lot easier to access that tire when you are off-road or on uneven terrain. Something you're all familiar with at this point is the Owl box. We have a large one here with plenty of space on the inside. We have a Flare Space Invader rack here. It's a versatile solution for mounting all sorts of equipment like boxes, tires. You can also mount any sort of fluid container with a Rotopax mount, or shovels and other equipment you might need off-road or outside the van. Notice too that we have the Flare Space window kit. This is great for adding true front to back cross ventilation in your build, utilizing the Max fan up in the front of the vehicle or one of the skylights. And the last feature we're going to highlight on the outside here is the motion activated perimeter lighting. That perimeter lighting is turned on and off by a switch at the dash. So if you forget to turn it off and you're already in motion, It's very easy to activate. You'll see as I walk about the van, each light turns on just where you need it. Now when it comes to picking a chassis, it's an important decision. We went with the Sprinter all-wheel drive for this build. It offered us the length that we needed to accommodate all of the features and systems, as well as the off-road capability with excellent ground clearance and proportions to allow you to get to the places you want to take this vehicle. It's fully loaded with LED headlights, adaptive cruise control, 360 camera, factory swivels, upfitter access points. This thing has all the features you might need to build out a world-class van conversion like this one. Whenever we design a build, we want to think about how the client will use it. So in this case, we wanted to add something that connected the outside space to the inside space and allowed some flexibility to cook outdoors or socialize outdoors and inside and blend those areas together. So we installed this flip down table with a built-in light. Easy to deploy, sturdy when out. It's a great solution. Welcome to the inside of the van. On this build, we're looking to create a certain feeling, something that feels warm and cozy, the comfort of a cabin, the textures of something refined and, elevated. And to achieve that here, we worked with the client closely to pick out materials that lend themselves to that vibe that you're trying to create. So on the cabinet faces, we did something unconventional and laminated all of them with hand-dyed Italian leather. This is real leather, and it just gives it this really warm texture that you can't get out of any synthetic laminates like Formica or Phoenix or even Marmoleum. So that really is a standout feature. To complement that, we wanted to find something else that had a similar organic character. So all of the poles for the drawers and cabinets, they are all going to be hand-forged iron, each one slightly different than the other to match that organic character. The details matter as always, so we have some nice little leather bands in the bookshelf here to help keep things tidied up. Drawers that fit just the space perfectly. Plenty of storage for all of your adventure gear. And in this area particularly, we want to have a nook, a space that would kind of cocoon you and hold you in, somewhere to read a book and then take in the view from outside and have it be a place that was both as comfortable as it was well situated to take in a nice view. We also wanted this area to be able to change with the client's tastes and attitudes, maybe the seasons. So this art here can be removed from the wall with these brass stays to allow nearly infinite options as far as redecorating. The area is also complemented by a touch dimmable LED light. Easy off, easy on, and easy to dim. Making use of every inch of storage in the van, there's also some hidden cubbies that reach around the back here. We felt that if this shelf was too deep, you wouldn't really be able to use the space effectively. So by giving access on this side to the back of the shelf, now we've opened up extra storage, and you always can use more storage in a van. Now, when we're working on a custom van conversion, it's going to be what the client wants. So there's certain features that you might not want, but for this client in particular, they felt they didn't need a stove built in. They would prefer this Brava light oven. It uses infrared light to very easily cook lots of different foods. You can use it kind of to reheat things, to actually cook meats, eggs, vegetables. So a nice multi-function unit that's really hands-off and meets the level of luxury that this build presents. We also did a Tech Van Life hideaway sink. This is really nice for giving yourself more counter space when you need it, and a very functional large deep sink as well. We've also installed an integrated soap dispenser in there as well. Down below here, you're gonna have extra storage and a drain that goes to an external gray water tank. We have a massive Vitrifrigo refrigerator here. This is switchable: refrigerator, freezer, 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 refrigerator, refrigerator. You get to pick, but it all stays the same with a lot of space. More storage up top. Again, matching the rest of the finishes in the build. We have our stained white ply poplar, which was essential to keeping the weight down on such an ambitious build. And let me actually talk a little bit more about that choice here. So this plywood is a poplar plywood that weighs about 40% the weight of Baltic birch, but exhibits the same characteristics as European cabinet grade plywood. So it's going to have a voidless core, a thicker face veneer, and more uniformity across the grain and structure. So you get a Baltic birch quality plywood while saving a lot of weight. And then we stained that with Rubio monocoat, and we actually mixed two different colors to get the right color to match the leather and the leather on the upholstery and the other warm tones we wanted to bring to this space. So coming back to this under the bed area, we have two table mounts, one here and one over here. You can abut these tables to make a large center table. You can use them as personal tables. They're very mobile and provide a lot of flexibility for two people to work comfortably here, maybe work remotely together, maybe share a meal across a large table, or play a game. You can easily fit 4 to 6 people in this large, comfortable booth area. It has large bunk windows too. We really wanted to bring in the outside and make sure that you could see the environment around you. And when you were back here enjoying time with your loved ones, you wouldn't be feeling like you're holed up in the van, but you're actually in the van in that beautiful place and really getting to enjoy it. This dinette area also is going to feature some 120 volt outlets and ventilation on both sides of the bottom here, as this is where our systems are stored. So over here is all of our electrical systems, and over here is all the plumbing. Now it's important to get airflow to those systems so they don't overheat or freeze, and that's something we want to think about, but also add some character to the build through the river and mountain motif that you see engraved on the face there. The upholstery, we wanted to make sure that the leather was supple and soft, something that really matched, again, the quality of the build. And we decided to do some stitching on these back panels to give them that extra touch of a really handmade, luxurious finish. Now, the last thing you want when you're driving around is your upholstery flying off. So we've added some hand-sewn leather buttons to the back that actually are magnetic. So this back cushion snaps in place there, and it stayed on all the way up this big bumpy road. These little fillers fill out the bed, so you can remove your table, stow that away in the cab over, lower your bed down, and it's going to make out into a large bed space that's roughly the size of a queen. And you can see by using these oversized bunk windows in the middle section of the van where the framing is wider as opposed to the rear, you get a much bigger bed space and something that's going to be more comfortable to sleep in with 2 people on a long trip. Above the bed too, we didn't want to skimp on light, so when you're down here in this lower space, you have a dimmable LED light, just like the cabinet up front. We like to add these lights on zones, so this one is going to be controlled at this point. This one is controlled at this point. But we'll talk a little bit more about the overhead LED lights and how those are controlled and what makes those unique as well. The bed lift itself is the Euroloft from Lippert Components. It's proven to be a reliable and functional bed lift system. One of the drawbacks is the length of the rails that it ships with are usually too short for most van applications. So we used our expertise in product design and quick innovation abilities through in-house additive manufacturing to 3D print these extensions at the base that allow the lift to travel an extra 12 inches to get that complete top to bottom elevation that you want out of this space and design. Now, when we say custom, we mean it. So this client told us we wanted a wood burning stove in our van. And I said, all right, let's do it. So here we have a dwarf stove, 4 kilowatt miniature wood stove. This is a true wood stove. You can have fires in it. It will heat the space. And it also comes equipped with their little miniature firewood storage space. But if you need a little bit of extra storage, we have this massive compartment down below. We've also trimmed out the space in a hammered copper to really accentuate the area as a special point in the van. This is sort of your gathering place. A fireplace in a home, that's the center. So we wanted the fireplace in this van to feel like a central component that really demanded some attention for what it was. A really beautiful and just human feature to have inside your space. To make the stove meet the requirements of the manufacturer, we've offset this heat shield an inch to provide ample airflow around the unit, as well as met all of the clearances around the exit pipe here. We've done that though without compromising the aesthetics, and of course also making sure that the vehicle's safe for the occupants. Across from the stove, you're going to find the wardrobe. A large open space for storing all of your soft goods, blankets, pillows. You could even take the shelves out and create more of a closet. A space to really make it feel like a home. Below this, we have a large drawer. And then below that, down here, we have our radiant floor system. So this is going to be a Rixson hydronic system that runs antifreeze through pipes all through the floor. It goes all the way up to the vehicle's engine, has a heat transfer plate, and actually allows the floor to be heated with excess engine heat as you drive. And especially in this Sprinter being a diesel, you can reverse that system and use your radiant floor system to preheat the engine before you drive. It also provides on-demand hot water. So having just driven this van about 45 minutes, the floor is hot and the water is hot, and I'd be ready to use all of those luxury amenities. If I wanted to keep that boiler running, I can do it off-grid for about a month off a single tank of gas. Wow, talk about a statement piece. The shower here is big. It's the entire back section of the van, and it's designed, again, to feel like a home, feel like luxury, and really feel like you're taking your dream house, your dream cabin on wheels. You know, we're up here at 12,500 feet, and I have a stone basin and infinite hot water. You know, like that's pretty special. So how we've done this is we've built a completely custom shell, then coated that shell in about 1 to 2 millimeters of micro cement, a flexible epoxy-like cement finish that waterproofs this entire pan and entire back basin, but gives it this really nice warm texture and feel that has been such a central theme of this build. Something that feels organic, something that feels handmade and really craft. It's something that will calm you and match the scenes and places you take this van. So the shower continues to be a comfortable, cozy place. It has a few details in it that really make it functional. We've cut an angle on top of every cabinet so that as water drips down, it continues dripping down towards the pan and not into the cabinet. We've made a custom little towelette holder here for our client per their request. A large mirror hinges so you can get ready and see yourself in a dignified way. And a curtain draws across the back as well for some extra privacy with the doors open. The shower valves are down here to place them in an accessible location to ensure that this build is serviceable. So over the life of the build, if at some point you need to access any of the systems, plumbing, electrical, you'll be able to get to all of that. And we've designed it to make that an integral part of the build experience. This back area also features a toilet that slides out. This is going to be a dry flush toilet and allow you to use your toilet comfortably anywhere and with beautiful views. Wow. Now, lighting was really important to our client with this build, and they wanted to make sure there's plenty of indirect lighting. So this remote here controls all of the indirect lighting, which you'll find running the entire length of the van. We got these custom extrusions made out of stainless steel and powder coated black, installed LEDs on both sides. Even above the cabinets, there's indirect lighting. So this entire build, just palm of your hand, you can dim all of that. You can turn it on and off from bed. It's just a really nice feature that at night, when it's all dark outside, and you can go inside the van, being able to dim those indirect lights creates a really nice soft environment, especially coupling that with like a fresh fire in the stove. So to complement though, that linear aspect, the lights stretching the entire length of the van, we added this poplar detail, some other linear elements that give the van this sense of length and help stretch out each room and connect them together with a common motif between each area. It has two skylights that double as roof hatches and are actually made out of glass so they don't get burnt by the ashes from the stove. And those hatches also allow you to access the roof for just, spectating, taking the views in, but also to clean your solar panels or, check on your Starlink, things like that. So those indirect lights, they run the whole length of the van, all the way through the kitchen, all the way to the front, and really offer something soft and supple to complement the direct and bright lights we have in other places. So what makes a build ambitious or extraordinary? Is it, trying something new to the industry, something new to your client, saying yes to the unknowns? Really, it's a little bit of all of that. And in this build, I think we've captured some magic in the process of it, working with the client, working with the team at Venture House. It's not something that everyone has an opportunity to work on in their lifetime, and we're certainly grateful to bring such a creative and ambitious project to life through intentionally working with the client and each other to solve problems, create unique solutions, and ultimately create an epic tool, something that can take you places with a level of comfort that we're really just now getting to experience. Off-grid air conditioning, radiant floors, toilets that are simple to use and easy to clean. It's like finishes that are out of this world, in a process that you can't really quantify. That is what makes a van like this ambitious and something really special. So I hope you enjoyed checking out this Sprinter 170 custom van conversion from Venture House. And we look forward to sharing the next one with you.